since June 4th, 2012, when I started taking testosterone. And I still get comments that people think that I am going to regret transition. Yes, after 7 years, I'm going to regret transition. Never for 1 second have I regretted transition. I see gender transition, as a beautiful catalyst for me to be more of the person that I already am. Gender transition especially, I see people use like religious and spiritual things that like, I'm gonna regret it, I'm gonna go to hell, blah, 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 whatever. Gender transition have been a catalyst for me to align spiritually in so many ways, and I know that I'm not the only person who feels this way, because I get comments all the time that are like, oh my god, I thought I was the only person that was transgender and also spiritual. No, I mean, gender transition made me go from, okay, listening to my inner voice, my inner higher self. I have to recognize that I listened to that, and the inner voice said, this is going to be difficult, but it's going to improve the quality of your life for you to transition physically. I listened to that, and guess what? 7, almost 8 years later, the quality of my life has so drastically improved that whatever that higher voice, that inner truth, that inner self, that was the catalyst for me to make the decision to move forward with my gender transition, has guided me through so many other areas of my life. It allowed me to recognize that I am so much more than my body. Because if I identify internally, if there's an internal sense of self that is bigger than my body, if it says, okay, you're not your body, you're not this female assigned body, then I must be more than my body. Okay, I can physically take steps to transition and make changes to align my body with my internal sense of self. But ultimately, there's this inner calling, there's this inner sense of self that is more and beyond my body. And I was able to tap into that even greater. Like, it's not all been easy. Like, I've had definitely times where it's been painful. I started testosterone June 4th, 2012. I got my top surgery in May of 2013. And I started to, pass and have a beard and everything like that. I had top surgery, and I was like, okay, for about a year after top surgery, I started to look like Ashton. Everything was, I felt more aligned, but there was still this internal struggle that was happening where I still wasn't happy. I thought, okay, when I get top surgery, when I have a beard, everything's going to be good. I'm going to be happy and it's going to be perfect and whatever. And I definitely had a lot of post-op depression because I was hitting the snooze button on a lot of my other areas of my life. Like, I was like so tunnel vision for top surgery. So when I had this depression after top surgery, it was like, yes, top surgery improved the quality of my life. Yes, testosterone improved the quality of my life. But what else? What is more? Do I need another surgery? Do I need to get a hysterectomy? Or do I need to get bottom surgery? And that wasn't the answer. I had to then learn what the skills were. The skills were to feel a sense of presence in my body. We internalize these narratives as transgender people that we have to be in this constant state of fight or flight with our body, and that we are not allowed to be present in our body because it's too scary to feel into our body and be present. And I didn't have any skills to do that. So I had top surgery, I had a beard and everything like that, but I was still so disconnected from my body. So I became a yoga teacher, and I learned that I started getting into yoga, and I stopped weightlifting, all that, like went on this wild journey of stopping testosterone for a year just to kind of figure out who I was even beyond the testosterone, all of that. And becoming a yoga teacher allowed me to connect with my body in an incredible new way. I recognize that I can just be here. I can be in my body. I can watch the thoughts and the narratives and the toxic things that other people have told me about my transgender experience, that I'm supposed to hate my body, or I'm supposed to have this dysphoria, or I'm supposed to feel like I'm born in the wrong body and everything like that. And I just watch that those narratives don't resonate with me and they make me feel like shit, and I recognize that I can breathe and slow down my thoughts and not identify with those narratives that other people would have me believe, and that I get to choose a new narrative. I get to choose a new story for my body. So this just popped into my head, but I'm gonna plug it in. My TEDx talk that I did that just went live back in February, I'll leave the link below. My TEDx talk goes deeper into this. I talk about my transition mentally from this idea of gender dysphoria and hating my body to really flipping the script on it to a state of gender euphoria, spelled Y-O-U, just because that's for fun. Euphoria, that you get to choose, that it's so much more than your body. Like when people say that, like, I'm gonna regret transition, I'm gonna, whatever, because I was this pretty girl, that, or whatever bullshit people would have me, what narratives they would see, like they'll see my transition timeline and they'll see that I was like a pretty girl by society's standards. And I actually was in Miss Ohio, so I competed in beauty pageants, like tried so hard to be a girl, and people saw that and they thought that, why would I give all that up? Why would I give up being in Miss Ohio? Why would I give up all of that? Like, and they still think even now that I'm gonna regret it. So ultimately, the me attempting to be super feminine was pushing all of that masculinity down. And people see that and they get confused and they, whatever. But it is greatly, again, tie back around, it has greatly improved the quality of my life beyond any. I mean, it was a catalyst for a spiritual awakening. It was. Because I recognize now that I'm so much more than my body, and I'm so much closer to God and my internal sense of self. And you don't have to call God, it could be the universe, whatever that internal sense of self that connects you to something higher than just the fear-based stories that go across the screen of our minds all the time. We're not our thoughts. We're not our thoughts. We're not the stories that other people would have us believe. We're our truth, our own individual truth, and we have our own internal compass. And listening to that voice and transitioning and making that move forward was the greatest step of faith in listening to like the voice that's saying, do this and it's going to improve the quality of your life. And I listen to that voice now in every area of my life, and it has just radically transformed my life. So if you're transgender and you feel like, oh, I need to transition, or you already are transitioning, like, you have such a divine opportunity to continue to cultivate whatever internal sense of self that said, something's not right. I'm feeling some pain, I need to transition. Like, listen to that more and more. Sit in stillness. Listen to your breath, get still, get quiet, and you can tap into that. That never leaves you. That wasn't just a one-time thing. You can tap into that all the time, and that will help guide you in so many areas of your life. And there it is. If you have more questions or anything like that, you can leave a comment below. You can follow me on Instagram. That's the best way to connect. Again, it's just Ashton James Colby is my Instagram. And again, watch my TED Talk if you want to hear more about this. I'll leave that below. And until next time, stay awesome. You're literally the universe expressing itself through a human body. You're so much more than your body, and you are literally pure divine love. And I love you so much. Stay awesome. Have a great rest of your day.